beautiful humans.
You're alive.
What's up, Chad? How we doing? We got any Canada believer, or not? I guess Sweden believers. I'm sure we have plenty of Canada believers. I picked Sweden to finish last in this tournament.
Interesting. Below Finland?
Yeah. I think Sweden sucks. I think Finland is low-key good, even though they don't have any talent.
It's going to take some mystical gelling, I feel like. For Finland. I know, I was arguing with somebody the other day because they're like, Finland's top line is the best line in the tournament. And I was like, what are you
That's not
smoking?
even close to true.
And what they said was Lekkonen's a beast. And it's like, I can't believe that. But did you look at any of the other rosters? Because he's probably the lowest talent of any of the top line.
Lekkonen is a great hockey player. I don't know that he is the 25th best player in this tournament.
Right. It blew my mind. And so it's like they're probably counting on some gel with Raymond, and it's like, yeah, that's a theory worth leaning on, I suppose. But it doesn't mean his individual level of play is anywhere near anyone else's. Like, and I get it's hard to look at because any individual roster would be the best NHL team.
Yeah, of course. Like, it wouldn't even be close.
Not even close. But you're not,
But you're not against the best NHL team.
Right.
You're against all of Canada.
You're up against effectively 66% of the NHL. I'm going to pull the chat up. I hope DJ's in the chat.
He sure is.
Hell yeah.
Sweden hater supreme.
DJ wants to know your favorite Electric Callboy song.
The one where they make music.
Not you.
2%.
You didn't listen to him.
I did. Honestly, I did had a good chuckle on the Cascada cover. I thought that was pretty cute. It's probably how this conversation got started. Hey, look at it. Open the chat and DJ's already popping off. I think Sweden sucks too. Oh, you were talking about hockey. Brilliant chirps.
Plus 1,100 for McKinnon for first goal. Don't hate it.
They're like the first of Canada's 12 goals.
Yeah, I have no idea how you would. I mean, I know how you would get it from Australia. I don't know how you would get it legally.
Do what?
The game.
Oh, yeah. Elevator Operator was the song I was jiving with the most after listening to their top 5 most popular songs.
I like that song. I think that one's like their newest song.
I am curious. I do wonder how hard Canada goes.
That is the one thing that you brought up that has me questioning. Like, that's why I haven't put any money down on bets on this tournament. It's just because it's like, who really cares about this? Finland might care the most, their roster, because everyone else has such achievements under their belt. How many gold medal winners do you have on Canada that might not necessarily care about the Four Nations face-off as much as an accolade?
Exactly. So we'll see. But also, Canada does get their shit kicked because Jordan Binnington sucks. I'm here for
it. Yeah, that boy could eat some humble pie. I don't think anyone in the league would be that worried about it.
How did Katie feel about the Super Bowl? Did she care at all?
Not one bit.
Okay.
Not one bit.
I know her family's like Steelers fans, right?
Her dad's, I don't know, her dad is a Steelers fan or was.
Sure.
And that's pretty much the extent of it. Apparently her cousin is a big Chiefs fan.
Randomly. To be him.
Yeah. So they took an L, but outside of that, I don't think anyone. I just thought it was cool how well Philadelphia played that game. Like, I mean, it's the only full game of football I watched all year.
Sure.
and they just, I don't know, it did not seem like it was an even matchup in the slightest.
Yeah, no, they dominated that game for sure. What are the odds of Bennington to fight someone? Gotta be close to 0, right?
Gotta be.
The 19 coaches on Team Canada would all take him out behind the barn if he even thought about it. But are they going to play the Canadian anthem too? Oh, yeah, it's Canada. I'm stupid. I mean, in the U.S. game, are they going to play the Canadian anthem too? Because the games are in Canada.
It'd be funny if they only played the Canadian anthem.
Bunch of dudes sitting around like, okay.
We don't recognize you as a country.
Honestly, I wish Canada put Kadri on the team just to see.
Just to what? Mess with Bennington?
Yeah, just for the drama. Like, I don't actually care about the hockey.
I mean, they could have. They got Marchand in there. Might as well swap them out.
You're listening to the soothing sounds of my dog chewing a toy.
If she gets the squeaker out, she does this too. She'll have the squeaker in her mouth, run around the entire house.
Nice. Yeah, Chunk doesn't care much for toys because Modi is so amped for him that she just like lets him have it. But then once the squeaker's out, if I have just the squeaker and I squeak it, she's like, she'll just nose it. Every time it squeaks, she's like, eh. I think she might hate the noise, but she's constantly interested.
Rex.
Sylvie's like pretty. She tries to hoard them all, but she can't. So eventually Rex gets one, and Rex is a beast. So he tears it apart in 2 minutes, and then so Sylvie's like, "Oh, you opened it up for me." Oh God, there's still so much time before this puck drops.
Yeah.
Chat, what are we drinking tonight? We got some Rec Brews in our house. I don't even know what this one is. Unslinger.
It's like a normal beer, isn't it?
There's no way Pedersen would fight anybody. Ooh. Bourbon. It's a hump day kind of drink, I suppose.
Gotta stay warm in this single-digit weather.
It really was cold as hell today.
It's funny, I went to Texas earlier this week to meet some coworkers that are ironically also coming to Colorado this week for different meetings.
Sure.
And so we came out and they're like, "Oh man, sorry it's so cold. It was like 80 degrees this weekend." It's like, brother,
It was 6 yesterday.
I am sorry for what you're about to experience.
Welcome to the opposite of hell.
They missed today. They missed the worst.
No, they're here today. They
Oh.
flew in the same night I came back from Dallas. They flew into Colorado, so yesterday.
Efficient.
Yeah, it was weird.
DJ's driving in 5 hours. Where are you going, DJ?
Right. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that beer.
That's not for you, Bubba.
If it was a bottle, I might let you lick it, but the can might slice your tongue. But
We used to grab cans sometimes,
Shopping.
and then he'd run around with them
yeah,
and like crunch on them.
Negative 35 Celsius
Damn.
or Fahrenheit, Drew? I assume Celsius, which is still really cold.
You gotta be careful doing that with Sylvie.
Yeah.
She'll jump on. The other day I was clapping at her, I just went like this, and she was like,
I have
Girl.
no idea what a skip tip is. Canada's just salty these days, all right? They boo everything.
good girl. Good girl, Sylvie.
That's a good point. How do they handle like roster
God.
changes? You know, where it's like, oh, X team puts their guys out first, and then the other team has a chance to react to that. Do they switch that off, or is it just Canada the whole time through?
No, I'll switch it off. Or maybe they do like a coin flip for it or whatever. The
Look at
kid
him.
looks dead inside. Jealous of my A, Nathan?
Yeah, why are they all so serious right now?
One of two things is happening. Either they come out and drop 12 on this team, or they really don't want to be here.
They're like, I tried so hard.
All of them are like, I should be in Cabo right now. This is my 2-week break, bro.
They've just been watching their Instagram feeds of their teammates just hamming it up
Yeah,
the last week.
exactly. There is not a roster for these.
Rex is a good boy.
I don't buy rum nice enough to come in cardboard boxes.
It's easy to do when you don't buy rum at all.
Rex enjoys hanging with anyone. A robber could walk into this house and be like, can I go home with you?
We're now best friends.
Yeah.
Take whatever you like. They have Barkov come up for a ceremonial puck drop.
Why? What?
Man, what's happening?
I don't understand. How random.
Go ahead.
Just to piss Sweden off. Like, yeah. He didn't show up.
I guess maybe they're having representatives from
Yeah,
each.
there must be four. There must be all four. It makes more sense.
It's closer to like an opening ceremony we're watching here. That makes sense.
Yeah. Still weird that they're like, what if the Finnish guy is an actual player?
Yeah, they couldn't get anyone else.
Why does Austin Matthews look like he just dropped a new, like, EDM album and it didn't do very well?
I think it's the combination of him looking older than he is while trying to look younger than he is simultaneously. Creates this cacophony of.
He looks pretty young until you see his hairline.
He's trying to make up for it and just can't. Mr. Alfredson, Red Wings legend right there,
Oh,
Danny
boy.
Alfredson.
He's getting booed. Victor gets to do it for the
None of the
Swede.
normal pirating sites are working.
Yeah,
Sad day.
I mean, they're not working yet.
That's a good point.
They just don't bring out any Canadians. I guess Alfredson. Hedman's there. Which Canadian player's gonna go over there, dude?
Alright. That'll work.
Couldn't get Wayne, huh?
Yeah. He's supposed to show up, but he's got distracted at the casino somewhere. Probably. That's a great point.
I'm mad.
sorry.
I'm mad that the puck hasn't dropped. To be honest.
No kidding.
It's almost your guys' dinner time, I guess. Sidney Crosby. Connor McCoo. Yeah, Rex, squeak it right into the mic, buddy.
Get some ASMR going. Ripping up toys.
No Eric tonight, just Micah and I.
Unofficial watch along. Yeah, so the 3 keys to tonight's game is gonna be Canadian. Helps your chances quite a bit. If the boys come out Canadian, it's gonna get a hot start.
Give the puck
That's all
to
3 keys.
McDavid,
Be
Crosby,
Canadian.
McKinnon,
Play for
McCarr.
Don't be Swedish. Why did they give him like pendants, but LEDs?
Yeah, they must have.
Okay.
Which is silly, such a silly operational cost when you could just like adapt the NHL app.
Totally.
Just be like, yeah, open it up on your phone and then we'll have it glow the right color.
No, nothing. Taking that, thank you. What? No. What?
I mean, we're only into anthem number 1 here. You got at least a couple more minutes before puck drops.
Okay. Hey, Sylvie.
I got you now. Let's not eat his beer, huh?
Okay, guys.
We get a like on the video for Micah putting up with my dogs. He deserves it.
You gotta set boundaries. I tried to like the video and it somehow opened up a different video.
I have no idea. I mean, I assume it's an NHL rest, but I don't actually know.
That's a good question. It's those kids that got assaulted by that parent.
You have to be more specific.
Those that like made the news recently. Did you see that? This guy, I don't even know the context, but there's just these refs and they're talking, and somehow a guy just walks down from the stands, walks onto the ice, walks over to like a
15-year-old.
or something like that, and just pushes him over. Yeah. And the coolest part was that someone on the some kid on the opposite team was ready to throw hands at that guy.
Hell yeah, let's fucking do
Yeah.
it.
And so it's like those refs are getting, I think, I don't know what organizations are like inviting them to the game, for them and their family, probably club seats and all that stuff, pulling out all the stops. It's like, what about that kid that stood up for him? Get him in there too.
He deserves some good.
Big time.
Connor McDavid starting on the bench, first time for everything.
Who's going to tell him he's on the second line, boys? I know you're not a Coach Chippy fan, but that was a good video.
His videos are fine. It's just he's got one video.
Yeah, it's the first 3 seconds
Yeah.
for 50 seconds. It was Seattle. Thank you, Drew. You right. I mean, I think they'll be fine. I hope that guy goes to jail.
It's assault, basically,
I
right?
feel like there needs to be a clear boundary when it comes to stuff like that.
I just don't.
Yeah, ban him for life.
Like, I'm not a parent, but like, it's not the fucking NHL.
It's not.
They're 14-year-old kids. And probably the actual players are probably like 10. Like,
How fragile must your ego be that this is important enough
Right.
to just attack children? Mm-hmm.
and if you have like money on the game, then you're a degenerate.
That's what it is. Plus, like, how is that the straw?
Right.
How are you a free American? And that is the thing that we're like, all right, it's time to pick a fight with these kids. Like, how have you not already flown off the handle
Right.
and are in prison? Nice. People starting to get the feed.
Let's go.
I'm always really interested in competitions like this, where an abundance of skill, but a very short timeline on tangible practice of the team.
For sure.
It's a little bit. I think it's a little bit more raw, which is why you hope everyone's playing 100%, but there's a certain level of competition where these are the most competitive people on the planet, and they're just not giving 100%. This isn't the
goal. Yeah.
Exactly.
Gotta say, Sweden's winning the jersey war though. The Canada jerseys, low key kind of suck.
The Luki competition.
And we're playing hockey.
Nope.
Oh, we got fake.
Wrong. Fake news.
Fire the refs. Thank you for that, Sylvie.
Hey.
Okay,
No.
we're playing
No. It's not yours. It's not yours.
Got 5 whole seconds. Sick.
Exhilarating. Yeah, why did they go with that tan? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, I agree. We gotta watch Kel McCarr be the best player in the world. Okay.
Sweden almost immediately fumbling it in their own zone, struggling to just maintain possession. It's crazy. Oh,
Mark Stone also sucks.
yeah, it should have been an easy keep there, bud.
His back, but he can't reach that far. It's,
They're like, oh, there's already a penalty?
yep.
2 minutes, not Canadian enough.
All right. If we get into these games and it's clear that they're not going 100%, we should treat them like the Counter-Strike All-Star games or whatever, the show match.
That was a show match.
Where it's like every minute some other crazy random bullshit that they have to deal with.
Nathan McKinnon has to play the next 10 minutes with the Avs hat on.
The next minute, everyone put your blindfolds on.
Oops, goalies only for this period.
It's definitely a bit weird. Devontae is wearing number 5.
Oh my God. Oh, just looking at those names on the ice at the same time. From
Cale
Canada,
McCarr,
it's
Harvick.
so stupid. It's so stupid.
Oh my
Oh my God, dude!
Who had Nathan McKinnon?
What in the
Who had Nathan McKinnon first goal?
Hey.
That was ridiculous. That looked like the easiest goal of all time. One shot, one goal, less than 1 minute in.
All right, look, if you ever wanted to convince me that Sidney Crosby should come to the Avs, watch this. I would just watch the replay.
The no-look backhand through the crease pass to a standing still Nathan McKinnon. Wide open net. Literally no chance for Gustafsson there. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Hits the camera to boot.
It's been 1 minute.
On pace for a 60-goal game here for Canada.
I mean, leave it to the ads to, or not the ad, leave it to the NHL to botch a stream job.
Yeah.
Their international tournament.
Their own thing,
Yeah.
they've been pushing and advertising
Right.
all year long. And they can't even bring it to the people. Wow.
Oh, stick time, huh?
We're doing chicks early. I hope that's okay.
Oh, yeah. Girl, how do you have this much energy? You're usually so tired after you go to bed.
Well, we got 28 instead of 25, so I'm counting it as a win.
Did you count them?
Yeah. Make sure I'm getting my money first, you know? They're expensive.
Curious to see if anyone tries to up the physicality a little bit. Because even if like they are going hard, you have to think in the back of their heads, everyone's like, don't get hurt like this thing.
Yeah, not worth. Especially when you have so many guys that are using this time to get healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Think of how pissed your team would be if you came back from this thing hurt. Like if it's a wild freak accident, that's one thing. But yeah, I don't know.
It's a good point that Mac and Sid do practice together every offseason.
They do. I mean, no doubt in my mind, that's why McKinnon's as good as he is. Not that he wouldn't be outstanding anyways, but that level of being able to practice at that level with maybe the best hockey player in the last 30 years. It's,
Probably. I mean, is McDavid better? I don't know.
McDavid's one of those players that could be, but you won't know for another
10 years.
Yeah.
Max goal does not count to his season total. No, the tournament is self-contained.
Are they planning on giving out accolades like tournament MVP and stuff?
I don't know.
Because that might count towards negotiations. We'll kind of know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
This is good. The grapefruit one.
Yeah.
Is that the grapefruit I see?
It's extremely grapefruit flower, but
Interesting.
like it tastes like real ripe.
I'm so tired of grapefruit, man. Katie bought a bunch of Fresca because she really likes it, but she started a new medication. She can't have grapefruit anything.
Even
So
Fresca, it
Pounded
doesn't-
through.
it's like
she's
fake grapefruit.
being safe. I'm sorry.
Well, that is a good idea because that drug interaction.
Yeah, it's
No, no.
fucked. It's ridiculous. It's like, oh, this is fine unless it's grapefruit, then your heart might stop. So,
McDavid bum confirmed.
Oh, just give another
Crosby and
chance.
McKinnon better.
oh my god! Oh my god! Just toying with them.
What's the team that the Globetrotters always play? Because that's who Sweden is.
Sweden,
right?
yeah.
The Generals, I want to say.
Oh, that is bad news, Azure Sky. That's very bad news.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, she's just gonna stop taking that medication if that's the case. Like straight up.
Right?
Will Sweden get a shot on goal in the first 10 minutes of this hockey game?
They call him the Trey Kroner, so 3 shots per game. All right?
Better all go in at this rate.
You still so like he's 10-3? Bro, no one wants to see you skate backwards in this tournament. Just play balls out.
Sarah has huge balls. That's what I learned today. Took 2 hands to lift those suckers down.
Isn't that what you
I don't know. I'm not hip.
Doing the Generation X cross chop, whatever it is. The Generation X, is that who they're called? No, that's Gen Z.
do? I can't even do that. My fingers don't work like that. This is easy. Dude, I just went to 3 different Quinwood websites.
You put it what?
Went to 3 different Quinwood websites before I got the right one.
Gotcha games have made your brain into mush.
My meetings have made my brain.
Hey, so, does this game kind of suck?
Yeah, it's a little tilted, this ice is. Oh, they did it with 3 minutes to spare.
I mean, it's
Little loft on him. Pass. Shanna didn't land.
I am, like, obviously everyone in this tournament is so talented that I'm sure they can just kind of wing it and play together pretty well. But I am curious, like, how much structure you can actually get.
Yeah, in such a short amount of time, too.
Yeah.
I also wonder if the refs are going to have the same kind of, like, even up call type approach to the game.
Why not? There's no, you can rig this.
Yeah.
There's no actual stakes here.
Not really.
It's a tournament the NHL made up. And it's so made up that they're like, next time we'll do an actual World Cup. This one isn't real. I mean, I just don't think it's that important when all of these players are going to play in the Olympics next year. Like,
Right. If anything, it's just preserving the, like, rhythm of the break, which is a weird reason to do it, but
yeah,
whatever.
fine, whatever. But it's just, you don't fucking come home to your nation and have a parade because you won
You
the
won
four
four
nations.
nations.
Yeah, like,
Oh, man. I mean, you might if you're Finland and you win. You might be pretty stoked about on that. I actually like the absolute silence ad breaks. I prefer that to the advertisements themselves.
yes, agreed. Don't get to hear the game though.
True. Yeah, the All-Star game is taxing to get through.
It's awful, dude. It is. I like if you're a brand new fan and you get all the superstars in one place, I get it. But for anyone that's watched hockey for any portions of their life, it's like, what is this?
Yeah, what's the point?
I think it's that. I watch very little hockey.
It is quite silly.
The speed skating is cool.
I mean, it hasn't really been all that physical at all,
Not at all, yeah.
which goes to show how little, how unimportant it all is. it's legitimately, I think, just ad space. Like Tim Hortons and Rogers and all them get to, they're on the helmet now. Yay. NHL made some bag for that.
Yeah. It's going to be a tough day when the Olympics starts allowing advertising.
Yeah.
I mean, they advertise a ton. I mean, on like the jerseys and stuff.
Right.
All right, here's what you do, though, if they do allow that. Have a country that doesn't make it sponsor a country that does. So like, the U.S. has to wear like Norway's flag on their helmets or something.
That'd be the ultimate troll advertisement. Oh, that'd be so good. No way that's worth it. But oh, they took the shot on goal away?
They did.
What do you mean? Yeah. How? I get it wasn't going to ever go in a million years. Oh, you're right there, bud.
That's the bond, too. I'm sure he's fine, but
It's so hit or miss with, like, if the net comes off like it's supposed to, he's fine. If it doesn't, shattered finger.
your legs are no longer functional. But also, Devontae is trying this move on you, Sweden. I mean, I don't know. Like, I understand the injury worries, and I think they're valid, but also, like, and I don't mean this in a mean way. Sports athletes at this level are, like, dumb. Like, what do you think NHL players do in the offseason? The season ends, and a week later, these dudes are out playing hockey again. Like,
Yeah.
they just don't know how to do anything else.
Well, I'm playing golf. Go fishing.
I mean, they do play golf. They do other stuff too, but like, there's a reason things like the Beauty League are so successful in the off season. Is because all these dudes will go a week or two and then they're like, yeah, you know what, let's play some more hockey.
I mean, when was the last time you were without work for like a couple months? You start to get a little wild.
When I lived with you,
Yeah, man. There you go. That's
Wow.
that's all that's all the evidence you need.
Oh, girl.
don't hurt yourself.
Came in. Wow.
Remember when Matt Duchene was like, I want to play playoff hockey?
Fun times. Yeah, it's funny because like Pietrangelo was supposed to play, and he took 7 before Taves could, and then Pietrangelo got hurt and backed out, but it was too late, so Taves was like, I'm just 5 now.
Rip. That's too bad. Shot on goal. Count it.
If that Sweden one didn't count, that doesn't count, bro.
It does, man.
Hey!
Goodbye.
Get fucking back! Dude, the look on Cale McCarr's face is like, who the fuck is this guy?
I think I remember my dad talking about this guy one day.
TNT missed the puck drop. My biggest pet peeve. I have a lot of pet peeves when it comes to broadcasting hockey. That's my biggest one.
Yeah, it's a weird continuity break where it's like, oh, they counted that shot, by the way.
They did that now.
Where it's like, they could have been playing for 2 minutes before this.
We don't know.
You don't know. I mean, you kind of know, but you don't really know.
It just, I am sure in actual practice I couldn't do the job, but in theory, I am confident I could be like the director of a hockey broadcast. As good as, or better than what a lot of hockey broadcasts are.
Yeah.
And I'm sure in the moment it's really fucking hard and like I couldn't actually do it. But of the theory of it, I feel like I can.
No, I think you could absolutely do it. The hardest part would be you just having to learn what camera is what. So you can say, go to Q up 3, go to 3, Q 5, go to 5.
The hardest part would be me sitting down the corner camera guys and being like, you don't have a job anymore.
Sorry, we have to do this. All right, now this commercial uses a patently more dirty floor for the competitor side of the business.
Isn't that every commercial? I mean, I don't know. I like watching good hockey, even if I'm not invested in which team wins. I want to watch the good hockey. I got a burp.
Look. Who's that?
Does she?
Yeah, I think she's not being enough out there. She like gets too excited and comes back in.
You can go with intermission, girl.
Good girl.
Ooh, a miracle jersey? Nice. I don't own many jerseys, chat, because you see, I'm poor. How many jerseys you own? Hockey jerseys.
Do you count like practice jerseys or NHL only?
I mean, I guess I can count practice jerseys. Those aren't as expensive, but I don't own any, so.
I have 5 total sweaters.
Okay.
2 wings, 1 Stadium Series, that one's technically a knockoff, an old school Fedorov jersey, and then I have the 3rd McKinnon, which is really sweet, a blank old school Avs I got from a thrift store, and then a Denver practice jersey team.
Okay. I mean, I own 2 Avs uniforms, and that's it.
Just home and away. Okay.
Yeah, the home is a Duchesne, unfortunately,
That
and
is
the away
unfortunate.
is blank.
I do wonder if Nick got a Brayton jersey
That would
this
be
season.
that would be tragic, dude.
He's the king of buying jerseys on people on their way out. Insane that guy might get dealt again. I mean, it makes sense.
Does it?
Yeah, I mean, Carolina doesn't want all that risk.
I mean, sure, but then why did they do it in the first place? Not that,
Because
not our problem
Garland
anymore.
somehow
But yeah.
just has dirt on him. I don't know, man.
I truly hope Mikko finds success wherever it ends up.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like an ex-coworker of like my feelings on it. At least I'm not assuming everyone feels the same way. Where it's like I hope the best, hope they get the biggest bag, hope they do all these things, but also at the same time like kind of deserve a weird situation. You kind of you might have got a little too big for your britches there for a second, and this might be what the flip side of that coin of what you were going for.
I mean, I know it won't happen, but all I'm saying is whatever offer was on the table is still on the table on July 1st.
Absolutely, it
Come
is.
on home, buddy.
Absolutely, it's got to look pretty. It's got to look pretty good. It's got to look better, but every game that goes by where he's below a point per game, it's got to feel pretty good to want to come home. And it's one thing too. I was just thinking about this because there's the hockey contract and what you think about that, but then there's the whole personal aspect of like Carolina doesn't have the 10 years of nostalgia for him. It doesn't have his family's lived there and been, putting down roots for however long. And so it's even harder for them to try and negotiate a contract extension. Oh! He didn't even move. He didn't even get over.
Gustafson was committed to the shot and just said, "Oh, I lost."
Yeah, the shot didn't come, and he started drinking water. Brad Marchand, the late edition, the rat coming through. Who had this burst of speed on the way back through? First of all, terrible zone entry. Like, I don't even know what the thought there was. Might as well get it deep. Wide open net. Oh my God.
Your D-man got caught in the middle there. He goes to commit to the carrier and then tries to pull up halfway through and the lane's just open.
Ridiculous. All right. Is Sweden going to get an official shot on goal in this period? Sylvie doesn't think so.
It is still 0 shots this week. Just figured I'd throw that out there.
Silly. You have one. You have one. You don't need that complicated.
You got wait, hang on a minute. Do you actually call yourself Scotians? Is that a thing? Also, if I was from there, I would totally call myself part of the Nova gang. I cannot do announcing. It is technically illegal.
Ah, interesting. I don't know all the numbers with the teams, so it would be a struggle to just say anything but Canada and Sweden. I mean, you could technically say something like, and Canada's kicking their ass, and Sweden's ass is getting kicked, and Canada's winning. Canada should be winning this game as they're scoring more goals than their opponents.
I mean, I think it's fun to call games so far. Or it's fun to call games. We just, especially on a national broadcast, I don't want to risk it.
Yeah. It's not a good set of circumstances.
Yeah, the first goal was Crosby to McKinnon, and then that was point to Marchand right there.
Which I don't know if they have like the goal recaps on NHL. I'm gonna actually look that up. But
Yeah, they should have.
if you haven't seen that first goal, check it out because it's pretty crazy. It's pretty absolute filth from Crosby. Oh no, because they don't have even the games on the app.
They do on the website. I don't know about the app.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh, there's maybe a subsection.
Yeah.
Oh, it just takes you to the website.
They've got them on the website for sure. The Matt goal is up, so go watch that highlight and drool over the Avs never getting Sidney Crosby forever.
How did Sarah Levy end up such a normal-looking human with her dad the way he is?
I don't know who that is.
It's his
I mean,
kid.
I assumed, but
Yeah.
like I don't know that name at all.
Oh, that was the redheaded girl.
No,
okay. All
I'm
right.
just saying. I my entire life, actors and actresses' names, no shot. Dude.
No,
Like
look,
I can tell you the characters, but if you ask me who played that character, I'd be like,
yeah, it's any given day with my brain at this time. Like I could know everything about somebody, and they're like, "What's their name?" It's like, "Ooh,
great question.
I know it. I just don't know it right now."
Now, to be fair, I probably could have scored that goal.
Yeah, honestly, either McKinnon or Marchand's goal.
Yeah.
Anyone.
Marchand's at least like, he had to skate into the zone with some speed. McKinnon is literally standing still. Like,
perfectly still. Oh, man. Like that was the meeting they were having before the game. It was like, all right, when we go on the power play, McKinnon stand here. It's like, wait, is that the whole play? That's the whole play. McKinnon stand there.
McDavid and Crosby go do stuff. McKinnon
Yeah.
stand there.
Ooh,
I'm Connor McDavid.
sit down.
I'm so soft.
You're listening to the sweet, sweet sounds of Bully Stick, brought to you by Rex Rudo. It's kind of a sick band name, come to think of it, Rex Rudo. They took away their shot on goal again?
Scammed, bro.
What's happening?
Who's got the under on Sweden shots? All right.
What did they bet under 1?
Plus 10 million.
Every time
Sweden
they-
0 shots.
Every time they get a shot on goal, there's some degenerate, some Rothstein type that's like, picks up his phone. Like, no, take it off the board.
Oh boy! Oh, good D.
Didn't get a shot from a 2-on-1. That's tough. Like, there's something to be said about how well Canada's playing this game, but it also seems like Sweden's just playing real bad.
I mean, it's definitely not playoff energy. Like the
No.
physicality is not there.
It's not.
But it's
That is
solid.
a shot
That
on
was
net.
a shot. That
Put
was
it on the
definitely-
board. There you go. No debate on that one.
I feel that, Mike. At work today, someone asked, "What's their name?" I forget, and I knew, but the person saying "forget" made my brain blank for a minute.
You know it right until you need to know it, and then it's impossible.
This
Can't be
is a
done.
thing. This happened to my dad all the time, and it's starting to happen to me, where it's like you can see their face,
Yeah,
but not their name.
absolutely.
So it's before the Alzheimer's. It's fine.
Ugh. It is a very apropos name for that anecdote. Well, I don't, you can say lack of chemistry. That definitely seems to be a part of it, but it also seems like weird. Like right before that Marchand goal, that zone entry had zero chance.
Yeah.
He doesn't get it deep. He doesn't pass it towards anyone. He just like barely kind of limps it across the blue line to nobody, and Canada just takes the puck like, okay. There's been a lot of that going on. Just no game plan, no thought of what's happening, just hoping for the best, and that's not gonna work against Canada.
No, it is not.
No, D. No. No.
Yeah, Lynn, that's a fair assessment.
That's not true.
I mean, 7 shots in a period is okay. 1 shot in a period is
Disastrously
yeah,
bad.
that's problems.
At this rate, Canada would have to score on Sweden would have to score on 66% of their shots to tie the game. So
See, like,
that felt a little all-star to me.
yeah, a little bit of I'm gonna be the hero, and then
Try some crazy fancy shit, and yeah. Oh boy. As Eric says, too many BLTs in this game. Blue line turnovers.
I do kind of feel simultaneously like we're watching both sides of the two-faced Avalanche from this season,
Absolutely.
where one of them cannot make 3 consecutive passes to save their life, and the other half is making it look like an effortless domination of the ice.
You either have it or you don't. All the tryhards play for Finland, so.
Ooh, nifty little thought there. I know that guy's kind of going the wrong direction to have a lagging
Yeah.
stick influence that
Have to
puck the right
reach
way.
against your body like that.
It's just, yeah. It has to be a shot on in order to tip it up like
Yep.
he was trying, which he did pretty well.
He put a good tip on it. It's just you can only do so much with it. Like,
I don't know what kind of curve on the stick you have to make that happen.
no, Dio. There is no puck.
Could you imagine a stick with so much flex that it's just like gummy?
I mean, Ovi's power play stick is pretty close, man. Like, that thing is seriously like a 50 flex.
Ooh,
Oh boy.
not enough room.
Yeah,
Ran out of real
I'm
estate.
upset too, girl. You tell him. You tell him Sweden sucks.
They took away their. Okay, I
one was-
legitimately think there's something wrong. They have 2 shots on goal confirmed.
TFT shot clock is just a little broken.
Just keeps resetting.
Biz is in there just pushing buttons.
He's still trying to unfreeze the back feed. Just sweating.
Yeah, I mean, would be the first time someone scored without getting a shot on goal. I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Do something sick, Kale. That wasn't very sick.
Yeah. It's a patented Swedish move, my man.
Yeah, 1 minute until intermission, pups, and then you can go out, okay?
I think the league would be unhappy with trades actually happening, even if the work is getting done this week. I don't think there's any announcements during the break.
Certainly not in the first week. You give them a second week and teams start like practicing and stuff again, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But
And maybe it's more of an announcement just as like a hey, heads up, by the way.
don't fly back to wherever.
Yeah, you're going to a different state now, bud. So hard.
I mean, supposedly Vancouver still wants to move Pedersen if you're talking about someone at the tournament, but I just don't know how anybody makes room for him.
Yeah, that's a sizable agreement they're trying to work into any competitor at this point. Because you know they're not looking to retain, which is psycho mode.
Yeah. I mean, you can't retain on that. If they're serious about trying to be a playoff team. McDavid bum confirmed. A bunch of dudes carrying Team Canada, and he can't even toe drag.
All right, they're back up to 3 shots. They figured it out.
Surströmming stinks more, for sure.
Mm. Mm. Is that the same thing as no, I can't think of the name, but it's like that thing where either if you have the durian, it's not the same thing, but it's the
same thing.
But does it work the same way as what I'm trying to get at? Where either you have the genetics to where it tastes great, or you don't, and it kills you. Okay, it's just awful.
awful kingfish.
Nice. Yeah, good.
All right, chat. First period's over. I don't know what Marchand's complaining about, but my dogs obviously have to pee. So we're going to take our intermission break, and we'll be back in a bit. Or tips AFK. Also an option. It's cool. I'll text her.
So about our secret Illuminati plans, what? I mean, nothing.
Sorry, if you want to go off.
Again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do you want to go off?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was my bad.
All good.
Yeah. Yeah,
Probably.
probably empty.
You back?
Hello.
Hey.
Eric sent me a Slack DM about this game, about Sweden, that was just said terrible. So.
Why use that word when few word do trick?
Yeah, it's very obvious that McKinnon especially loves playing with Marty.
Yeah. Someone that can keep up with his speed and make stuff happen. Someone else that can zone entry.
That's it. I think McKinnon's like, wait, other people do this?
It can be done. My God.
They can't. The players would riot if the NHL backs out of the Olympics again.
The NHLPA will have something to say about it.
Yep. Especially like they have elite players from companies like Czechia with Nietzsche or Germany with Draisaitl, and those dudes don't get to play this, and it's like, come on, bro.
Yeah, give him something.
We got some matinees. I didn't realize that.
Some early birds.
Wait, what is this?
Some USA fanfare. Dude, look at Bill.
It should, like, we just never get on planes again.
I know, man. I had to fly to Dallas this week, and I was like, oh, God. Please be well staffed at DFW, please. Because it was like thick fog until you were like 300 feet above the ground. Just like, surprise, everybody. And it's like, oh, my God.
Period 2 is a go. I want to see Canada take a penalty just because I want to see if their PK can score too.
Taves almost getting checked by the ref right there.
That would be an abs thing to do.
That's how he gets injured during the Four Nations.
Don't
Eating it from a ref.
Don't even, bro.
I don't know if I've seen Sweden get into the ozone clean once.
It's not good. They had one odd man rush that they didn't even get a shot off.
Yeah.
On. Like,
It's tough. It'd be different if it was just like, oh, Canada's just playing so well. It's like there's pressure, but
they're not playing that good.
this is the best players for this whole country. You should be able to do something simple like that.
Yeah. Dude, that was sauce. That's nasty. All right. We're all missing the bigger fish here. Why recruit Sidney Crosby when you can recruit Connor McDavid?
Right, yeah.
Edmonton will trade him. Trust.
And retain 95% of his salary. Easy.
Yeah, but I mean, by the time the trade deadline hits, like, it will be pretty apparent that the Avs pick will be available this year or not. Or in 2026, I should say, sorry. Because, like, honestly, I think it's already pretty clear the Avs aren't going to finish in the bottom 10.
Right.
So you have to, like, mechanically, for it to be legal, you have to say if in theory we didn't finish high enough, you get the 2027 instead. But when you're making a trade, you know it's the 2026. This is like a bunch of random people that didn't play together. That was weird.
I just say it, if in this magical world we're living in where the choices are between McDavid and Crosby, I still take Crosby.
I think Crosby is definitely more what the Avs need.
Yeah, exactly.
But McDavid is arguably one of the best 3 players in the world in his prime.
Yeah. I mean, without a doubt, I also think that, and this might just be, I don't even know what to call it, but just like too many superstars, too many cooks.
Sure,
You
not
know?
enough pucks on the ice.
Yeah, if everyone's skill set is I'm the guy that comes in with speed and makes the play, it's like, well, then who finishes that? And I think McKinnon can be that person, but he'd have to kind of learn how to be at the end of the day.
I mean, McKinnon has always just been a volume shooter, right?
Well, yeah, he's supposed to be.
No, I know, but
Which
like,
is why it's kind of been good that Brandon hasn't been on the team because he was looking for him way too often.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong about that. He shot
And that's not even a
lot
dumb thing to
more.
do because Brandon has, arguably the first, if not second,
He's
best
the best
shot
shooter
in
on
the
the
league.
team for sure. Certainly the best shooter on the Avs.
Definitely.
Way hope he's playing this year. Fuck, but
Yeah, that's been kind of wild.
dude was like, I have to play another season if I don't break this record this year. No way.
It's funny because he's going to end up like 3 or 4 shy. It's going to be like,
October
fine.
16th, and he's like, I'm done.
Oh, ooh, ow, ooh, my hip, ow.
Missed like 10
Darn.
games his entire career.
Oh no, Russian machine break. You've heard wrong. Russian machine break.
Yeah, I mean, Cirelli would be the ideal 2C for the Avs, probably. Obviously not an option. Who just went down the tunnel there? I didn't see.
Give me other.
Cooper didn't know what the fuck's going on.
I mean, okay. So this is going to be stupid, but McKinnon is a great passer until you start comparing him to like the top 10% of passers in the league, at which point he's lower end, I feel like.
It's the same thing with his shot. He's not a great shooter. He's probably, well, he's not an elite shooter. He's
Yeah.
not an elite passer. But he creates so many freaking opportunities that it produces that in the league.
And that's just the thing is that with his speed and doing that, you add, what am I trying to say? Adding McDavid no doubt adds value to the team, but when you already have McKinnon, he adds less to the Avs than he would to any other team in the league. And so it's this weird thing of he's, from a cap perspective, McDavid's worth less to the Avs than any other team that can afford him.
I would agree with that. I think that's a fair statement. Theodore, okay, cool. I mean, obviously, I hope he's okay.
Yeah. Oh, largely precautionary, you gotta hope.
So, DJ, they are allowed to trade the pick. Like I said, you just have to put a condition on that pick. If we do have to give it away, then you get the 27.
Right.
Which, again, it's just a technicality. It's very clear that the Avs are not going to have to give away that pick.
Which, how spoiled are the Colorado Avalanche that you can lose a guy like Mikko Rantanen and it's fine because you still have enough talent to put him back in the net. To put it in perspective, if the Oilers were to lose Draisaitl,
Disastrous.
team is worthless. Even with McDavid, it's such a huge blow. But the amount of skill around puck movement with Natchez on the first line is arguably almost just as deadly with Rantanen out there.
Part of it is that Natchez is shooting.
Yeah.
I said it when they traded for him. He has to pull the trigger, and he has been. So that's a big chunk of it. Another chunk of it is, Arturi Lehkonen can't fucking miss. He's shooting like 24%. It's actually crazy.
Which you love when a guy has that year, but it's also not so, like,
Yeah,
no one buys that brand.
Right. No one's looking at it and saying, oh, yeah, he can keep this up.
Which on the flip side of that coin is that elite shooters are almost overvalued in that you can score hockey goals with a Gracie Lehkonen type approach. It doesn't all have to be this pinpoint precision shot. A lot of it can be luck. A lot of it can be grease.
That's cool that you shoot 24%. Joe Pavelski stands in front of the net and he scores 40 goals a year. Right?
Right. It's not, I don't know. The Natchez trade obviously has paid dividends already, but even on paper is such a cool move because I don't know. When that headline first breaks, I think everyone's initial reaction is, in what world does this make any sense? And then you watch him play for 10 minutes and you're like, okay, I get it.
Got
It's
it.
cool.
Right,
It's
yeah.
cool. Oh, he's in. Make it happen.
Stuck on his backhand side.
You're right there, bud.
Canadian players crashing into the net 2 for 2. The thing is, DJ, like, no one wants a 2027 first. But again, you're making that deal where you know you're getting the 26. Come trade deadline day, you're looking at where the Avs are and you're saying there's no way they fall in the bottom 10.
I think that's an absurd contingency plan.
People are gonna be mad, but if it was for a good enough player, I would absolutely give up the 26 first and Cal Ritchie.
Yeah. Because this is the window. Like, Cal Ritchie's a great prospect, absolutely, but he's also at a weird time for his development and with the core strength for the group. So I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, his development path is probably maybe the end of the Avs Cup window is when he's really ready to ascend.
Right.
Like, sure, he can probably play next year, but how good will he actually be?
And it's also absolutely no guarantee of any of that truly coming to fruition.
And that's,
you hope it's possible.
I was pretty low on Ritchie in his draft year.
Sure.
And like, he had such a good year and such a good preseason this year that I bought into the hype like everyone else. And then you saw him play 7 NHL games and was like, oh.
And there's this, oh man, it's such a good, because, being a Wings fan, you've seen so many guys from arguably top 3 prospect pool 2 years ago to, are they actually NHL worthy players? And some of them are paying off. Some of them, they're, bouncing back and forth between leagues because you don't know. So at a certain point, you just have to say, we're putting complete faith in this guy, and either he does it or he doesn't.
Or we're going down with the ship. Yeah.
Or it's
Canada
might as well deal him and get some. Ooh, ow! Oh, I thought for sure that was about to be the 3rd goal. Good block in front of the net.
Sweden packing the house. Swedish house mafia confirmed.
They're like, if we can't get into the ozone, we'll just have 3 goalies. And that's
2-0. We'd be in a great spot not letting you score on us.
Offsides, that guy was not okay.
Yeah, the only good draft pick so far past 10 is Newhook. And Tyson Jost is an okay draft pick at 10. I know people hate it, but I did a whole piece. This was before I even worked at DNVR. I did a whole piece on the history of the 10th overall draft pick. And you have Solani and Rantanen as by far the 2 best 10th overall picks ever.
Right.
And everyone else, Tyson Jost territory, man. That's just what you get with the 10th overall pick.
Serviceable NHLer.
Yep.
Who knows where else? It's like if you were to be like, well, I mean, they drafted Pavel Datsyuk in the 6th round or whatever.
But he's like superstar out of your ass. Great happened for you, man. Both 2 things can be true, bro.
Yeah.
Those are lucky picks in the late rounds. Also, the Avs are genuinely horrible at drafting past the 1st round. Truly terrible.
Which, I do take a little bit of issue with that second statement. Not that you're wrong historically, because like you can only pick and cross your fingers, right? See what happens.
There's definitely skill. Like you can see teams like Tampa Bay have much better drafting success than others, but you're drafting a player you think can be good. You're not like, this is the next superstar.
Right. And if it happens to work out, you're like, oh, that was cool, huh?
Yeah.
Noah Dobson? I don't know, bro.
I'd give up Guyev in the first, yeah,
Isn't that low for Dobson?
probably. The bigger problem for the Avs with Dobson is what does he want? Because his
Sure.
contract is up at the end of the year, and he's an RFA, so great, you have his rights. But if that dude wants $9 million to play on your second pairing, not fucking happening.
What does his contract look like in that? Does he have, like, veto capabilities? Because if I'm Noah Dobson, I'm looking at, like, I don't think the Avs would be on a exclusion list by any means. Probably nobody in the league is like, oh, don't entertain the thought of going to Colorado. But you're looking at Cale Makar's contract renegotiating coming up, and you're like, I don't know if it's, there's a very real desire to win a cup from some players, and there's a very real desire to make your money now because the future's not guaranteed for a sports athlete. And
Kale's
you're not
always
getting that bag of
Kale's has
cards.
always been a very loyal guy, and I do think he'll take at least somewhat of a discount to
Yeah.
help free up space. But also, that conversation is here's a blank check, Cale Makar. Write
Right.
a number now.
Right.
Like,
Right. I mean, the leverage there is asinine.
oh, you can't have my beer. It tastes like peanut butter, buddy.
We're drinking Breck Brews tonight, Jack.
The official craft beer of DNVR.
Yeah. It is, yeah, man, the timing of Nathan McKinnon's contract renegotiation to the cap increase is kind of
Great for the Avs.
absolutely amazing for the Avs. Got to be a little bit of a thorn in the side of his pocketbook. Not that he's not making plenty of money, but it's just crazy. If he was renegotiating this year like Cale Makar is or the year after, yeah, he'd be making way
I'm just not, like, I've never been wealthy in my life.
Hmm.
Like, to me, the difference between 12.6 and 14 a year is like the difference between 100 million and 110 million. Like,
yeah.
to me, that I couldn't spend 100 million. So what's the extra 10? Like,
Right.
yeah, this period sucks.
In the first period,
The first period was slow, but Canada was doing cool stuff. This period, both teams have been slow.
Yeah, it's almost like Canada's just like, yeah, let's think about the next game because this one seems pretty won and Sweden's scrambling. It's just that it's nothing in the tank.
Which
Weird.
team do we want to go get?
Yeah, that's at least 3 Canadians all the way in the net. They're like, if the puck's not going, I am. Hey, that was a decent shot. I mean, straight to the breadbasket, but at least it was quick off the
It's
draw.
me, the worst Forsberg.
2.
Yeah.
2 of 2.
Top two,
On his
not
resume,
one.
it says, yeah, second best Forsberg of all time. I guess is there a goalie Forsberg?
Yeah,
Forsberg.
there is Anton Forsberg,
Anton.
which he's clearly number 3. So.
Yeah. Why doesn't Nate just sign? Why doesn't he?
Yeah,
I think he's of all the people that benefited from the trade, Nate just is like, hell yeah, this worked out.
I get to play with who?
Talk about a team friendly deal. Like he'll make more. Well, plus it's not even this summer. Doesn't he have another year on his agreement? So yeah, he's gonna get a good deal. The cap's gonna go up. It's gonna be whatever is left after Cale, and then I mean, in the crazy world where Raiden comes back, there's going to be some magic.
But I really think on July 1, you go to Nate and say, hey, we will give you the deal we were paying.
Yeah.
Like,
And he's like, sick.
If you want 9.25 for the rest of your life, come on down.
To be fair, though, it's not like they can't extend HS this summer. Not to preclude what Jamie said. She's right.
Yeah, on July 1, they could extend it. But also, if you're married in ages, you're like, I'm about to have a fucking 120 point season. That's the name of the kid, bro. Canada has kind of some weird numbers this year. You don't see a lot of 38s, 71s.
A fair amount of 71s.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think maybe I'm
Larks.
wrong. Okay, you know one.
I know a 71.
Yeah.
I know my favorite 71.
And he's playing for the U.S.
Yeah, but yeah, swapping off with Kreider.
Yeah.
It's a little, I don't know. He's definitely belongs in the bottom 6, but splitting time with Chris Kreider is a little disrespectful, I think.
America, great.
He's just too nice of a guy. He's like, yeah, all right, that's fine. Plus, I'm sure it's a damn sight of a relief from him to be like, I am the last guy you're counting on? Cool.
Sick,
I'll show up, hang out.
It's been 400 games of only me.
Oh, man. I was arguing with some guy, too, that was like, Sider's the next captain of the Detroit Red Wings. You should strip it from Larkin. Sider shows up every night, and Larkin shows up when he wants to. It's like, I don't think you've watched any hockey games, man. That dude is, I'm shocked he's not a broken human being. If I had to go to work and do for my company what Dylan Larkin does for the Detroit Red Wings in the last 5 years.
Walk in every night and be like, Trey.
Yeah. How is he not just a severe alcoholic? He's
Well,
so
he was.
bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Oh, what?
Did that get tipped or does Jordan?
It had to, dude. That was like 10 feet to the left in the slot before that redirection was crazy. Like that was not even close to on net before that got tipped.
Such a big human being.
He's a big guy. He's a big fella. It's funny in that commercial with Stammer, he's standing next to him, all like, he's like, yeah, and he's like still got 2.5 feet on him. Like, look at this. That's a pass. Yeah. What did they even hit? Slow it down for me. I'm old. Oh, that did not do what I thought it did. That hit the D-man stick and floppered in.
Knuckled up into the crossbar. And
That's a very buckle up goal to go in.
Catch a dub. Make it a game here.
I mean, you look at the score sheet, 2-1, 11-9, and it's
A lot closer than it probably should be.
it's a lot closer than it actually is.
Yeah.
Right? Does not feel like that helps them all that much. But hockey's a crazy game. That was that icing.
There's half of this game left.
Like Rudo was saying, we're here for the Bennington collapse, man.
Oh yeah.
Let it happen.
Please have him post a 600 if Canada loses this. Let's go.
Oh man, 3 goals on 14 shots.
Is McKinnon allowed to scream at him if he's his teammate?
McKinnon's allowed to scream at anyone at any time.
He carries around an extra
True.
helmet in the holster in case he's got to throw it at somebody.
The only person McKinnon can't scream at is Sidney Crosby.
True. And even then, if Crosby's eating too much ice cream or something, he might have words.
You know
Me and my
the beginning of Barbie when it's like Ken just lives to make Barbie smile. Like that's Nathan McKinnon to Sidney Crosby.
Oh, big time. I can see that.
Nope. Nathan McKinnon is like the kid Sidney Crosby has to babysit because he's a good guy.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the same vibe.
Yeah,
Like,
but like Nathan McKinnon looks at that dude like he's a god.
Oh, for sure. But
That's what
also
I
he's
mean.
Nathan. Like Ken has good intentions, but like is stupid. Nathan McKinnon would punch Sidney Crosby's lights out if it means he could win another Stanley Cup. He doesn't care. What do you think about Druin long term? I love Jonathan Druin. He's my favorite archetype of player. If you have faith that he can stay reasonably healthy, I don't see why you don't keep him for around, like ideally around 5. He probably is going to want more like 6.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not for Nathan, maybe.
I choose to believe that this is actually Daryl Sutter.
Just hang out.
Yeah.
Daryl Sutter's got a little bit of, I don't know, for some reason when I look at his face, it's like that guy, total aside, but it looks, he's got kind of a methy face, you know, when people do meth a bit and they start to
I
get
would
that kind of
say
weird
like
mouth.
more like way too much cocaine, but yeah.
Yeah, same vibe.
Yeah,
Too much
yeah.
of this.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
It's all kind of loose in there, you know, the teeth are shifted.
He's not like a fat guy, but he has jowls still somehow. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm sure Mac tries to recruit Sidney Crosby to the Avs every day, but it's just not actually going to happen.
Yeah. There's just no point if you're Sydney.
Yeah.
There's really not.
I think a lot of people underestimate a lot of those guys, especially the ones that have won cups. NHL players are pretty loyal usually.
Well, because, like, if you're Sidney Crosby, there is no one else in the NHL that has less to prove than Sidney Crosby.
Yep.
He doesn't need to win another cup. He's like a literal god in Pittsburgh. Like,
The dude could sign contracts in Pittsburgh for the next 20 years, and they'd be like, "Sure, kid."
yeah, go on LTIR, technically retire.
And
we'll
they'd
pay you
keep
just out of
calling him kid.
He's Sid the Kid. He will always be Sid the Kid.
I mean, if he wanted to go to Colorado, I'm sure they would let him too. He has that much clout and decision making. I'm sure. I just don't see why he would.
Pittsburgh would do whatever he wants, but that conversation is mutual, and I truly, truly believe Sid wants to be a Penguin for life.
Yeah. Plus, at a certain point, just in your life, it's hard to
Right.
uproot and
Like,
start
he's
over.
lived in Pittsburgh for 15 years.
Yeah.
Like
The benefit of really
almost
swapping
like
that
20
is just silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unless the Avs were paying him something absurd, which would be absolutely silly for them to do, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's too hard. It's just too hard of it. Unless Pittsburgh says we're going to give him away because we want him to win a cup and he wants to go to Colorado.
Yeah. They're forcing him to
Yeah.
cement a bigger legacy than he wants.
What is this?
Personality.
INFJ. Ooh, that would have been a nifty pass if it got through. Good D. Good stick in the lane. Canada's just literally deciding that they're done playing hockey halfway through this game. It's a little
Scored
weird.
2 goals, boys. Pack it in.
We did our part. Now it's Bennington's job.
Like that. This is the one thing that's lacking here is that play right there. In the playoffs, that dude gets nuked into the boards.
Annihilated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pass the car and keep the first guy keeps the puck using G and loses it.
Off for sure. Yeah.
He's like hoping that didn't come all the way into the zone on a rare occurrence.
If I'm onside, it's fine, right? Looks like Theodore's okay. Okay, maybe not. He's out there, though. Couldn't happen to a worse team. I feel so bad.
Noah, for your sister. Move up on you.
Oh, I mean, I'll defer to Rudo, but Dobson's not my guy.
Dobson is kind of a weird fit for the Avs. Not that he's bad, like it'd be super interesting. You're getting a long-term piece to play on your second pairing that has a lot of high-end offensive potential.
Squeaks
And
by.
his defensive game has rounded out a lot over the last couple of years, but you're just never going to get value on that guy in Colorado because Cale Makar is your power play one forever. And you already have a Sam Girard that has some offensive upside. Devon Taves, for as good as he is defensively, contributes plenty offensively. So it's hard to find opportunities to give someone like a Dobson in Colorado, which if he wants to sign for $5 million and play on your second pairing,
Right.
awesome.
So
Out in.
you can get so much more value out of a defensive D-man that can fill that slot.
Exactly.
That doesn't have to play a power play unit. That's just out there 12 minutes a night.
Yep.
Like it's.
And the reality is, I think Dobson's going to want like 7+, and that's tough for the Avs to say you're our second pairing guy at that price. No,
It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
the Pittsburgh Penguins were always getting Sidney Crosby. I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy, but if you wanted to tell me there was ever a rigged NHL draft, it's that one. The Pittsburgh Penguins were a franchise on the edge of failure.
After a storied legacy,
Yeah, right.
too. They can't just
One of
let
the
that slip.
Greatest modern dynasties with Yager and Mario.
Yeah.
You get Crosby, and after Mario beats his cancer, Crosby is the reason he decides to come back and play again. Like, I don't know. I'm not telling you it was actually big, but if you were going to rig one.
Yeah. If you were writing a fanfic on how an organization would go, that would be it.
Other dogs can get low, girl. You're so jealous. I actually talked about that on a pod the other day, Drew, where I was like, I don't think St. Louis would move Parayko, but if they had any interest in moving him, the Avs should be all over it. He would be perfect for what they need.
Yeah, man. Rudo was talking about this earlier. It was because Petrangelo was going to come in, and he wanted 7.
Yep.
And then he got injured and couldn't. And so
Yep.
Taves, at that point, he was already stuck with 5.
Yep.
It's like that story Eric was telling the other day where they signed some new guy's jersey, thinking it was just some merch. That's too funny. The equipment guy's like, who did this? What's happening?
But imagine playing your NHL debut in this shitty, like, spray-painted black jersey over all of the signatures.
You're like high from the fumes. It sucks. 2C is just such a barren position in the NHL right now, man. It's not easy for guys like Casey.
It's just any good 2C some teams believe can be their 1C. Like,
And it's this weird spot where it's so there's such a gap between available 2Cs that they are, because of the demand, worth more than their position's worth to the cap. And so they have bargaining power they shouldn't have, and it almost makes teams. I mean, look at Calgary that have a 2C, maybe the best 2C in the league, but they're just not a good team because they have to pay for the best 2C in the league.
Yep.
It's a weird spot, man. Oh, good save. That might have been off the side of the net, but if that was a save, that was worth it.
Tiff, are you here?
Yes.
Can you put a poll in the chat?
Sure.
All right, chat. The poll is Rex or Sylvie?
Oh, God. Why would you do this?
Whichever one you don't vote for, we're going to just release into the wild.
This is like Jason Todd all over again. God damn it.
I just lost 25 rep with Sarah.
Sylvie
No, I
might.
was just thinking, like, Rex wouldn't even leave.
Yeah.
You'd just be there.
Sylvie
Like,
might
hey.
be able to do it. Rex is barely an outside dog at this point.
Rex is barely an outside dog. That's so funny. Call
It's also
1-800
easier to
kill
look at the
now.
when you're playing against second lines. Like that jump is
Sylvie barks.
absurd. There's a reason why there's getting paid almost twice as much to play one lineup. It's not easy.
Imagine if Nathan McKinnon.
Oh, oh. What have they got? Like 4 shots this period, Cam? I guess they had 7.
I mean, it has not been a particularly interesting period. They both are. I mean, Sylvie's probably the latter one. That's the one they're hitting.
No, Rex is definitely louder.
Rex is louder, but
Sylvie
Sylvie's
is-
more vocal.
Yeah. Girl, you gotta stop that. People are listening to you.
I gotta go with my boy.
Going with Rex.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
I would never vote on my children here.
I can't with you.
We all like Rex more.
I know, I
Yeah.
probably should have put a third option just to see how many people would vote. No,
Both.
Bruno, I'm not playing your silly game.
Oh! That was kind of soft. 5-hole on
Can
the
you not
ice.
celebrate with Mark Stone and punch him in the face instead, though?
Oh, you good boy.
Rex is like, I know who you voted
Oh, you
for.
good boy.
You're my boy.
Oh, you
We used
good
to
boy.
wrestle. Stay up top.
I love for Rex.
Nathan McKinnon got the decoy experience for the first time in his life. It's a little soft.
It's a little soft,
It's a little
man.
soft. Rex, I know you love him, but you can't lick everybody's face all the time.
My face good.
Rex. Yeah, you're distracted.
Want a beer? You want a beer? You good boy?
Rex, no, Rex. Hey,
Yeah, if there was any cap concerns, Stone would be out after that play until the grand final game.
Oh, my back!
Oh, no! I don't think so, man. I think they're all each other's.
No, yeah, this is an NHL event.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there aren't teams from like Czechia or
Any of the other countries.
Czechia and Slovakia are the only ones that were really close to being able to ice a team of NHL players, but because the low end for them was so low, they couldn't really put a team together.
They're like, you can get hammered if you want, just absolutely smashed for a tournament.
We'll bring somebody out of retirement. All of a sudden, Thomas Vokuhn's back in net. Oh, boy! Jordan.
No scrambling, no scrambling.
Stone has just gone magically on the IR the last couple of years for Vegas, right around the trade deadline.
Magically clearing space, only to resurrect from the dead come the start of playoffs.
oh my god.
Also, this is not complete speculation, not even real, probably totally fake. Don't take any of this seriously. I don't want to get sued. The faces he makes after he scores goals, that's like Daryl Sutter cocaine faces.
Yeah.
He's on those good painkillers. Real good.
like this is very common in all fan bases where they're like, let's just trade the guys that are bad for guys that are good.
Yeah,
it's like they would do that if they could. Like,
I mean, if you want to hire Ken Holland as your GM, he will make absolutely sure he sells the entire future of your organization for that minor upgrade in roster space.
we will make the first round again.
Yeah, especially if you like guys well past their prime. That's especially.
You saw Daniel Albertson drop the puck.
Yeah, man. Oh boy.
Are we at intermission?
No.
We still got like a minute left.
Mm-hmm.
Shows how much I'm paying attention to this period.
Yeah, you get a triple P.
Who are Czechia's best players ever, or like right now? Because ever gets really confusing because they were Czechoslovakia.
Wait, we're not in intermission, are we?
No.
No, there's still like a minute 30.
I started second guessing myself because I was like, it's a weird time for an ad break.
You were spot on. They just had the ad break that they never got to because this period has been so boring.
Gets really
You
confusing.
go to ads
with
now
all
and
those
always watch it.
geopolitical issues.
Let's see. So Pasta is the best current player.
Makes sense.
The best ever is definitely Yager.
Oh yeah. No argument there.
Second best, you can take your pick. Probably Voracek or Hayduk.
I like Hayduk. Voracek probably even has better numbers, but like, and he was probably playing for a worse Philly
They're
team for a long
really
time.
similar, actually. Voracek more assists, Hayduk more goals, but totals are pretty fucking close.
I liked watching Hayduk play more. Voracek seemed like he needed more opportunity to be.
Hayduk was definitely smoother, for sure.
A little biased. I met Hayduk. He's a really
some other great names: Eliash, Krejci, Oweek, Sikora.
Oh, I see. I see the kind of slips
Yeah, I
quick.
You could make an argument that Radim Rivada is a top 10 Czech of all time. So, yeah.
I feel like that guy's career could have been so much better than it
It
would have been.
It really could have been.
Freaking Arizona, ruining lives. I feel the same way about Shane Doan. Great hockey player. He was the Sidney Crosby of the Arizona
He's
Coyotes.
not as good as Sidney Crosby and the Coyotes are the Coyotes. So
It just had to be a franchise player for the worst franchise in the league.
shout out my boy Petey. Go check out his new YouTube stuff within the coach's room. It's super cool. He's making super awesome content. His stuff is so good.
Nice, PD. Get after it, but
All right. I mean, the goal was cool, but that period was definitely a period of hockey that happened. We are existing out here. It is intermission. We're going to take our next break. We appreciate y'all, and we'll be back in a bit with that almost own goal. And David's like, I can't score their goal, so. All right. We'll see.
So I go, and then I hear equipment guy, Peter Miller, screaming, was not very happy. And I'm like, what is going on? And I look around, and he's holding the jersey like this, and he's like, who's the moron that signed this jersey? And then I raise my hand, I look at Peter, I'm like, I'm sorry, like, who's this for? And he's like, it's not for anybody. This is for Yannick Pro. Welcome to Story with Biggie. Here's my first story of the year. We're going to have some stories like this about some funny moments throughout my career. I don't know why I'm thinking about this particular one today, but I'll tell you one thing. It's my rookie year in LA. We are playing at the old Winnipeg Arena that had the big Queen Elizabeth painting. That was awesome. I love that building. It was so fun to play in there with the passionate fans of Winnipeg. And I'm a rink rat, and I used to always get there so early. Believe it or not, in LA, I actually had the locker room key. Back then was an old lock, and you had to have the key to get in there on the visiting rooms of every building in the NHL. And then we're in Winnipeg on a cold January night, whatever it was. I'm in there, and I walk in there. There's always like things that you see that you know are normal to do. Example, like signings. If it's a practice day, usually there's always stuff to get signed for little brothers or cousins or neighbors, and guys bring it in the room, and it's usually laid out like this, like it's a jersey or whatever it is, or a hat, and there's always a marker next to it. And anyway, so I'm there and I'm grabbing my coffee and I'm, whatever, starting to get ready and get organized, and guys are starting to trickle in, and I see this, the beautiful LA Kings jersey, right there laying on the table, right in the middle of the room, next to the gum and the tape, and then all the extra stuff that, don't forget the bullets, Anyway, so I see this jersey, and I'm a nice guy, so I go there and I grab the marker and I see this jersey, and I think it's weird because it's a game day. Usually on game days you don't have things like that, but I don't think about it. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll just sign it. So I signed the front of the jersey with a metallic Sharpie on a nice black LA Kings. Back then, black was road jerseys. So I write my name, and then guys are starting to come in, and next thing you know, there's about, 12, 13, 14 signatures on the jersey, and I go about my other part of my routine before the game, because remember, we're not superstitious. It's just part of the routine. Anyway, so I go, and then I hear this equipment guy, Peter Miller, screaming, was not very happy, and I'm like, what is going on? And I look around, and he's holding the jersey like this, and he's like, who's the moron that signed this jersey? And then I raise my hand, I look at Peter, I'm like, I'm sorry, like, who's this for? And he's like, it's not for anybody. This is for Yannick Perreault. He was a call-up that day, and they had gotten that jersey done right there in Winnipeg for him to wear that night. It's his jersey for tonight. So, God, I felt so bad. It's like 6 o'clock at night. The game is warm-ups in like 20 minutes. He's got about 15 signatures everywhere on his jersey on metallic pen. Oh my God! I tell you one thing, I wanted to die. And everybody said, "Who's the one? Who's the first one?" And I couldn't hide. I'm always the first one in the dressing room, so they all knew it was me. So I'm like, "It is me." All you saw was a jersey with black spray paint all over, like the 13, 14 signatures. And I tell you, it was so funny. Everybody was dying, and you could see at face-offs, guys from Winnipeg are looking at it like, where'd they find that jersey? You know what I mean? It was the funniest thing. Peter Miller, I apologize. Saw him at the rookie face-off the other day. We were still talking about that crazy pregame in Winnipeg, where it was my fault that we signed actually a game jersey for that night of Yannick Perreault. That was a call-up that night. That was a story with Big E.
Still alive.
We back
Yo.
in the hood. Ready to watch Canada close this out easily. Probably. I mean, I hope that doesn't happen. I want excitement.
I love that we don't have to do a post game after this.
What's
Me
it,
too.
It's what, 10 minutes to round 3 before shootout of this tourney?
Yeah. Except for the finals, which is just go until you win.
Yeah. True playoff style. Me too, Jamie. I don't think JT Miller, for all his skills on the ice, is worth it. I just don't.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, the amount of headlines that I've read paying absolutely no attention to the Vancouver Canucks is absurd because that guy.
Natchez is interesting with the Avs specifically because the Avs drafted Martin Cow. And obviously, like, Martin Cow didn't work out in the NHL, whatever. But him and Natchez were like homeboys.
Right.
So for a little while there on Team Czechia, it was those two playing together.
I mean, Jamie, you bring up a good point in that any player that gets to come to the Colorado Avalanche and play in the top 6, I don't know what team they'd have to play for where they'd have less opportunity to maximize their potential, just because of the caliber of people they get to play with at that point. Because even if you're not on the top line, there's going to be rotations where you're playing with Cale Makar on the ice. There's going to be rotations where you know, if you get on either power play unit, you just have so much more skill playing around you that's so much of the league.
Over the past 5 years, the Colorado bump has been a real thing for them. So the Avs have gotten a lot of guys paid.
And which just makes the Rantanen trade make so much more sense too, because it's like you can hack it. Are you really a top 5 producer in the league when you aren't playing consistently with 2 of the other top 10 players in the league yet?
Yeah.
It's a lot heavier of a load to try and lift. And he can't be lazy about it. Like, not that he's the laziest player, but he's had so much urgency in his play so often that I just don't think it works in Carolina's system. I don't know.
Ouch. See him up here. Sit. Shake. Nose. Lie down. Sit. Sit. I don't know if you'll do this one on the couch. Up. Up. Good enough.
He's like, that counts.
I mean, you sat on our couch. It is hard to get up on the couch.
It's a comfy couch. I like it.
Soft couch.
Yeah.
Broken couch.
Not as broken as our last one.
There are all 3 cushions.
Third period is underway.
They all have the same problem with the back being completely broken because Rex at one point jumped into it.
Full speed,
at full
body
speed,
slam.
and he was able
You couch destroyer. Rexar will not be contained. How do you like the Europe's? Does this feel like your mama?
I'm so glad he doesn't have allergies.
Yeah.
Yeah, people trying to judge the trade 6 games in are just like clickbaiting, dude. Like,
Yeah. But it's also, it's clickbaiting, but the amount left in the season, I just am I don't think anyone in the league would want to be Carolina right now with the decisions they have to make before the end of the season.
Carolina's
It's
offseason
so
decisions, they put themselves in a really hard spot.
Real hard.
But the other side of it, if you did your due diligence on Nico Rantanen, you know you're going to get a fucking monster in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know that dude's going to show up and play the way he can in the playoffs, and he's going to be amazing. But if they don't get that contract done, It's Stanley Cup or bust.
Yeah.
That trade is a failure for
100%.
Carolina if they do not win the Stanley Cup and they do not re-sign.
100%. It's beyond all in. I mean, that's up to Rantanen what he prefers, what he's really worried
Yeah.
about.
For sure. If he wants money, he'll get it on the open market. It's just, is he willing to play for a bad team?
Right. Not that Carolina's a bad team, but
No,
they're
they are.
significantly handcuffed if they pay him what he wants today.
Yep.
And I don't think they have a real strong prospect pool to say, we can lift a team up from here.
I mean, they have a really good team. They just don't have, like, Mikko is the best player on that team now. And, like, cool, that guy's probably a top 10 player in the league. I think he is even away from McKinnon. He's not as good away from McKinnon, but he's still really freaking good.
Yeah. And he proved that with, I forget what year it was.
Oh! Jordan Pennington, ladies and gentlemen! Kale's like, I got a minus for this bullshit.
That mouth guard will not recover from that play.
Y plus minus is bad. Come on, bro.
McCarr's looking at Downey like, you got him? You got him? No? Didn't even, like, he chooses to play the body at such a weird time. Doesn't get his stick
He doesn't
anywhere
play
close.
anything, and that beats Bennington under the armpit, brother. Make a save.
It's tough.
If Carolina trades Mikko, that's a fucking fiasco.
That is, man. You feel like if they trade Rantanen, there's also has to come with some front office changes at that point.
All right. Hear me out. C-Mac rolls in and is like, bro, a first in Cal Ritchie.
Snipe him right back right at the deadline. They just answer the phone from Mac. We're like, done. Whatever it is, please help. I mean, it's the same contract, right? Like, they can't just deal Rance to anyone at this point either.
Yeah, it's not like it's a cheap deal. I mean, I guess half of it is retained by Chicago, so it's actually not that bad. But
yeah, but that's only till the end of the season, which
Yeah,
is why it's a
you're
couple
still,
in.
like, whoever's trading for him is presumably expecting to extend him.
Or all-in for a cup this year, just
Yeah.
like Carolina was.
Sure. Which, like, tough luck to be the second team to go all in on him.
Yeah.
Nothing against Mikko. It's just like,
No. It's just you got to be a little. You got to have extreme faith if you're going to be that guy. And it's like, oh, you guys just got into a horrible situation. I could do that. I can fix it.
Rex, what are you even? Oh, I see. He's locked in on your bowl of food up there.
What? He never left it up there. That's so disappointed, Greg. Where am I supposed to hide it? Yeah, good job, you found it! Wow! Good job. Well done.
I mean, I don't know when it happened, Nick, but you also, when you're planning on dealing a piece, they just get less ice time. You want to make sure that they're preserved for the deal.
Yeah, it depends on the caliber of player.
Yeah,
There is-
true enough.
There's a caliber of player who's good and you want to protect them, and then there's the caliber of player that you're shopping. You're like, no, play him 18 minutes.
Yeah,
Get him back out there.
Let's pretend he's an 18-minute-a-night player.
Yeah, I mean, the Kadri hate trick is one of the most cathartic hockey moments of modern history. You know, like,
And coming back off injury with a broken hand, too.
I mean, that was after.
That was after?
Yeah, which the Game 5 game-winning goal also a fucking insane.
Right, that's
but,
what happened.
Yeah. But the hate trick had implications like beyond just hockey. Like, all right, look. HS was the point leader right up until he played that chicken jumping game.
Chicken Gate confirmed. That was off, really? That was good. What do I know, though?
I mean, I think it's pretty reasonable to think Natchez can be a 100-point player here.
If he sticks with the top line, yeah.
Yeah,
That
obviously.
might not be the case.
Role dependent, of course.
Ooh, they're using the points format everyone wants to see for the NHL. That's cool.
The NHL will never go that one. They
They need to pretend that less competitive teams are more competitive
yes,
than they are.
exactly. Who is it? Fucking like Vancouver or Calgary? I think it's Calgary. Let me look.
The fake.
The loser point king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one every year.
Yeah.
It's like, this isn't real. This isn't a real team. These numbers don't work in the playoffs. What's happening?
Really good at losing in overtime. Vancouver has 11 overtime losses, dude.
Ridiculous.
They have 28 losses and 26 wins, but because they lose in overtime, they're in the playoff spot.
Which, don't get me wrong, I agree that is a problem. Ooh, almost made something out of nothing there for Sweden. But I also think that it's the win shouldn't be worth as much, man. Like, that's something that's so hard to keep track of because they don't track the stat clearly on the NHL site of how many of them are overtime wins. You have to, like, do the minus of regulation wins. But,
You're right.
but that's kind of the flip side of that coin of, like, how many teams just barely won in a game where so much can go crazy.
Yeah. That
they're not really as good as the
almost if you got to 3-on-3 and some shit happened.
right, exactly. You have a better top three players that also won't hold up in the playoffs.
Vancouver is fucked. Don't get me wrong. I think there's a good team in there, but obviously all the locker room drama, and now Markstrom is hurt again. Or not Markstrom, Demko. Sorry,
Yeah.
wrong guy. Yeah. Without Demko, no.
And that's like maybe the biggest blow an organization can have is just completely losing the room to the chaos. And
Yep. It's how entire teams fall apart, for sure.
I don't know if I've ever seen a team really, like, outside of a pretty big front office change recover from something like that. Like, you need substantial changes that are such a dice roll.
Yeah.
It's hard to say you're a competitive team and then make that change and hope that you're still as good, if not better. I don't know. That's wild.
Putting
You're
NHL
right.
teams together are just hard in general.
No, you're right, Drew. They are, but you just have to, like, now you have to go through and subtract wins from regulation wins for every team in the league to see who sticks out. And I don't know who it is because I don't have the time for that.
It's everything.
This guy's job. This caveman over here has got nothing but time.
Look, all right, I'm a psychotic person that stays up all night and sleeps all day.
No one's surprised.
So when it's 4 a.m. and there's nothing else to do, it's like,
Just
what's
unnatural stature.
statistic? Yeah.
Take it in, baby. My big time waster when it's come to things is I'll Google something and I'll end up reading like a bunch of AI stats and being like, is this right? And then I have to go through the actual like things, and it's like usually within 80% kind of the trend.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
don't
it's
know.
just like, I think advanced stats are awesome. I think they're genuinely very, very helpful. But everyone likes to say, "Oh, here's this number, and this number is absolute truth, a fact." And it's like there are 4 different models of advanced statistics out there that all give you a different number. Like
yeah,
general trends, yeah, absolutely you can take from these things. But if you're trying to say this one number is the truth, you're just fucking lying.
no, like it's like a religion at that point. You're just buying into
Yeah.
what you think makes sense, and then you track by that. That is the North Star to you. Might as well be.
Yeah, but things are actually happening when it's 4:30 a.m. for you, DJ.
Hey.
Why does that?
And an echo loadout.
Oh, nice. That's nice. Actually useful.
Did you open a good gotcha?
There's no such thing.
Quality of life.
Oh, okay.
All right, hear me out. More gotcha games need to adopt the WoW life.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Just drop the dates and let me do add-ons. All right.
Yeah. We're not letting you do it.
No, most gotcha games are like if you add any external anything, it's an instant.
TLS.
You can do it. Plenty of people mind entering.
And get banned as fuck.
I mean, you gotta imagine the first 30% of those mods, anyways, are just more revealing clothing.
100% like naked bodies.
That is all. Not necessarily naked
So it's like I can attest.
Not necessarily naked bodies, just like making non-playable characters playable characters.
Oh, okay.
You have
Reskinning them on a gotcha.
add-on booba and add-on schlong. Alright, like, those are your choices.
Hey, good on them for keeping add-on schlong in the mix, right?
I think Genshin's one of the more popular games with females.
With women?
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
players?
women players. Gotcha.
Yeah, you can't call them female.
I was like, that's all every gotcha game. What do you mean?
Nah, Genshin's got a lot of male characters. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. I just
Yeah,
thought you meant
when
that.
you say female, you make it sound like you're talking about the model.
Ooh, awkward collision.
Women.
It's a little rough, but both teams are gonna have under 20 shots in this game, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably do tomorrow's game too.
Man.
I definitely will do the semis and the finals for sure, at the very least. So.
Just go to sleep. You know what the biggest one is with women? Love and Deep Space.
I don't even know what that is.
It's the same people who made Infinity Nikki's a dating sim.
Interesting. That's it.
Video game smut. Understood. Oh yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, I'm pretty mad at Sidney Crosby girl.
And neat. Girl.
Put her in her crate. You're struggling.
Don't go to sleep in there either.
I don't think the ship sailed at all, Jamie. I think if anyone has had a quote unquote come to Jesus moment out of between the Avs and Miko, it's Miko, right? There's so much appeal to coming back to the Avalanche.
I don't think it'll happen.
It's I mean, if he comes back and there's some, like you were saying, if there's any sort of, oh, what a pass! What a pass!
Let's go! This has just got exciting.
That was sick. If that was a no look behind the back, that would have been as good as Crosby's
Yeah,
pass.
no, Sidney Crosby in the beginning, but I'm curious on what the defense breakdown here was.
Plus-
Parayko just shit the bed here? Yeah.
I mean, let's get him behind. Oh, he
I mean, that's not really Parayko. Who got beat to the net there?
right. Who made Parayko fall off his guy?
Konechny?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's tough. In slow motion, it almost looks like he has less time than he has. Oh, Bennington also does a bad job getting over. Beats the belly
We all
on the
know
ice.
Bennington sucks. It's fine.
All right, who's he gonna axe in the leg?
He's no Georgiev, all right?
It's offsides. You know, what the hell was that?
pretty definitive.
You had the space too. You could have easily taken the line and then done that. But you
Cross
just,
the line.
you chose offsides right there. That was weird. Ah.
I mean, look. I guarantee you, if Mikko hits free agency, the Avs will have the same deal on the table for him. They'll offer him what they can afford. If he wants it, great. If he doesn't, power to him. I genuinely wish him nothing but the best. I hope he has a fantastic career. He's going to end up in the Hall of Fame someday.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And that's the thing, DJ, is that also with the Makar negotiation that has to happen, Mikko would require a good amount of patience because someone's gonna hit him with the big bucks, which is what makes it very unlikely that he actually comes back. It would have to be a nostalgia, a family decision, pretty much him going to his agent and being like, look, I know you've been fighting for that bag, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to
I'd
play
rather
for Chicago.
Go win a Stanley Cup in Colorado.
Yeah.
Why in God's name are they letting Nathan McKinnon take face-offs? I love the boy, but that ain't his thing.
I don't think there's bitterness at all. I don't know. I know Mikko says like, oh, it was a surprise to me that this would ever happen, but it was just like, it's business.
There's no surprise. Like, he's not surprised. He's surprised they actually did it.
Yeah.
But it was very clearly on the table.
Yeah. It was option B. They're like, oh, we'd love to do option A. And he was like, no, more. And they're like, well, then that leaves option B.
Yeah.
So I guess that's that then.
Bennington does suck.
Because
He's rocking, what, a 750 right now?
not great.
The other goalie's rocking a 760. So. You called the 4-3 Canada dub. All right, can they do it in overtime and Mac and Crosby do something sick again, though?
That'd be cool.
Okay, with the setup? No.
Good coverage. Read the play. A lot better third period here. I know it's been a lot of Sweden, but it's been funner, much more fun to
It
watch.
picked up. The first 5 minutes were pretty blunt, but it picked up. I mean, Sid could absolutely get the bag if he wanted to, but he's just a freak about the number 87. So
Plus, Sydney, you got to feel like more than anyone else is secure about his future beyond what he makes playing in the NHL at this point. If it's
That
personality,
dude can
if
have-
it's analyst, if it's front office, he can do whatever he wants.
dude could be the first trillionaire if he wanted to be.
No doubt about it.
Dude's gonna like Mario's gonna be like, I'm getting too old to say buy my stake in the Penguin. And he'll be like, all right.
Okay. And that's going to be like the third thing he has going on.
Yeah, right, exactly. P.S. We have to hate the Minnesota Timberwolves now. I'm sorry,
Okay.
but it's just true.
Twist my arm.
Anything that Alex Rodriguez is involved with by law, we have to hate. We know this game.
Looking around like, first time? Oh, yeah, no, goalies do this. They just let the other team score.
You're
You just
telling
have to
me
work around.
that you guys aren't just used to this?
What's a 900 save percentage? What are you talking about? I mean, the thing that really blows my mind about Sidney Crosby too is the Malkin dealings when his contract was really up in the air. I feel like without Sidney Crosby, there's no way that ends up coming together. But because he's Sidney Crosby, he just gets to sit both sides down and be like, look, this is what makes the most sense. And it did. And it does. And now they're living it. And it's like, hey, right off into the sunset together. You're not going to do better than that. No point in dealing the guy for something that's just not going to
Sid the GM.
add to your, yeah. It would not be surprising, right? If he were to move on to a GM role, probably not right after retirement, but.
I don't know if it'll be GM, but certainly some front office. Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to tell because of how many conversations, you assume what that life's like, even if you're as close as the press is to what hockey looks like in the operations space. But if there's anyone you have faith in to understand the hockey at a high enough level to be a GM, it's got to be Sidney Crosby, right?
Yeah.
Like, gosh.
And certainly.
Someone would make him an offer to be their GM eventually. Whether he takes it or not's up to him.
There's a reason Joe Sakic was the Avs GM and now president.
Which what a good job C-Mac's done because that first year Sakic was a little bit like training wheels. Of like, yeah, you're GM, but like if you need me. Oh, what a save! How did that stay out?
Devon Taves cannot score.
Can he lift the puck? The whole 2/3 at the top of that net was wide open.
Yeah, without there's a large portion of this fan base that just does not understand how impactful Christopher McFarland was, even as an assistant GM for this organization. Like when they won the cup and all of that.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, Joe Sakic was very important as GM too, but the idea that McFarland had no impact on the Avs roster until he became GM is just so unbelievably false.
Right. Like the reason he is the GM he is because of the impact he had.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so this game just has gone full fire wagon mode all of a sudden. What do you guys think about the U.S. team? I think they're really good. I think they're talent-wise probably the second best team, but they have the best goaltending. So
without a doubt, like they probably have the best two goaltenders in the tournament.
Yep, I think that's fair. Wow, that was a hell of a save.
It was a save.
Gets the blocker on it.
Like Bennington doesn't make that save.
Bennington's swimming in the weeds, man. Ooh, nice poke check.
I mean, again, it's early days, but if this recent trajectory of the Natchez Brandon trade is any indication of what it looks like down the line, it could be the smartest GM move I've maybe seen in my lifetime. It's so good for the Avs in so many ways.
Like, the result of Natchez almost doesn't matter. I made a short about this. This trade is only remembered one of two ways.
Right.
Number one, the Avs win a cup in the next 2-3 years.
Oh,
he's
stick?
hurting. He's hurting.
Is he bleeding?
Give me some blood.
Pull out that razor blade, Eck. Make it happen.
In the next couple of years, if the Avs win a cup, this trade gets remembered as the move the Avs had to make the salary cap work to build a Stanley Cup winner. And McFarland is hailed as a legend, and he becomes one of the best GMs up there with Pierre LeBlanc. If the Avs don't win a cup, it does not matter the reasons why or that. It's remembered as the beginning of the end of this era of Colorado Avalanche hockey.
Sure. Which is a little bit. I mean, as far as how it's remembered versus the reality of the situation at hand, I could see that being the case. I just think I don't know, I've worked too many contracts in my life, business to business, to not admire the amount of risk he got out from under.
For sure.
That alone for the longevity of an organization is it's so cool. It's so good. It's so smart. Like, it's tasty. It's spoiled.
I don't disagree, but I also think there's an element there of like they have to do it correctly. Like, if you don't get nature signed, are you not just in the same boat next January? Like,
even if you are in a similar boat, it's from a press perspective, no, not even close.
all right, fair enough.
But again, that if your goal is like standing and faith that your fans have, that other players have in playing for your organization, there's a lot less risk involved. If it's flat out win a cup, then yeah, it's a lot more difficult to, with a straight face, say we're getting rid of one of the best players in the league.
For sure.
So it's, I mean,
like a lot of that story is yet to be written too, right? Like, what do the Avs end up moving that second round pick for? Because they're not keeping it. I fucking promise you, they will move that for somebody else. The Avs despise second round picks.
And for good reason too. Like the whole gambling nature of anything beyond the top 10 picks is like, why even count on this?
I mean, they're just like everyone's bad at the 5th, 6th, 7th round, right? And some people are better at it, but a lot of teams are bad there. The Avs are the worst team in the NHL in drafting in the mid rounds. The second, third, and fourth rounds, they are horrible.
Well, because I know they haven't had a lot to do.
Well, because they were so bad that they said, we're not doing this anymore. We're trading these picks and we're getting better out of them. Oof. That was your shorty chance.
Do you think that weighs the number a bit because of the limit of chances they've had to actually hit?
Certainly in the last 5 years, it's weighed out. But it was seriously a decade of failure until they finally said, let's just stop fucking doing this.
Which is not even a bad logistical move with, you have to have the team in front of you that they had to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But at the same rate, you drink where there's water. You go to where the money is, to where the success is. Oh, man.
And
Sweden sucks, bro.
The Avs have been
that's brutal.
The Avs have been so wildly successful with rehabilitation projects. Nichushkin, Druin, even on a lesser scale, guys like Evan Rodriguez.
What are you doing? What was the thought there? You just hope someone's okay. He passed it to 4 Canadian players. That was stupid.
The middle of the ice is over here. There's a guy there, right? There'll be a guy there.
We'd have to be idiots for a guy to not be there. Oh my God.
How the Nuggets doing? Are they winning?
All I know is that Jokic hit an absurd 3-pointer with like 1 second left. I've seen the clip 55 times.
That's the one where he throws it 80 feet down the court or whatever.
Well, no, he's just outside the 3 line on the right-hand side, but he like looks around and there's nothing. He goes, I'll just score. It's like, of course. Yes.
I'll show you here. Let me show you his best 3-pointer of all time.
Yeah, I'm down.
It's not even a real shot.
I don't follow basketball at all. I love Jokic. He's my favorite person. He's just to be an athlete and to be like, I don't even want. He wins the championships. Like I don't want to go to the parade.
I like horses.
When is it? I gotta go home. It's like that's the vibe I have afterwards. Like happy hour. It's like man, I could just grab it. I've seen it a million times. They're already up by 20 points. It's the end of the third. He doesn't.
Just fucking throws it. Like
he's playing cornhole. The rest of the league is playing basketball.
Did you see the Hank Green thing on Jokic?
No.
Oh my God, you gotta watch
I love Hank Green too. So I'm about to admit
I
this.
love it's genuinely the funniest fucking Hank Green video I've ever fucking watched.
Does not like
The only reason I have any idea who Nikola Jokic is, and I am obsessed. I don't know what I started watching Jokic video. I don't watch any other basketball. It's just this giant man who is like his nose is always running, and he moves like his feet are sticky, and like air is thick. He appears to care a great deal about basketball, but also not at all. He's much more interested in his horses. But he's also the best basketball player alive, but also he's not good at basketball. Like, you look at him, you're like, he's not good at this. He's not in good, he doesn't like appear to be in very good shape. I feel like kinship with him because he doesn't appear to care about whether he's like breaking records or doing things no one's ever done before, or doing something that somebody like it's like he got really good at basketball without ever caring about basketball. He's like this amazing mix of being an absolute goof and also a guy who you do not want to mess with. Which is like,
Oh my god.
right?
Oh man.
They look goofy, but they are.
That's a great summation of the vibe for sure. Oh man, that's too good. The air is thick comment killed me. Because he moves like for a professional athlete, he moves so slow. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's just too big and powerful for anyone to stop him. Oh my gosh, 19 shots to 19. Canada doing an impressive disappearing act in the second half of this game.
Scored 2 and sandbagged.
Yeah. Dang. Oh, mama, that was good stuff. Which, even with Bennington 3v3 OT, you gotta say is stacked heavily in Canada's favor.
Yeah.
There's just no way. The amount of line
I'm sorry.
combinations.
Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, and Cale Makar step out onto the ice.
Imagine having a team so stacked that your 3v3 roster does not include Nathan McKinnon,
Right.
who's also on your team.
Oh, darn. We have to go to line 2. Devon Taves, Nathan McKinnon, and Mark Stone get out on the fucking ice.
Oh, man. Lucas Raymond out there like, oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, no. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, Nichushkin solidifies the Avs top 6 so much. If he can get healthy and stay healthy,
It's an absurd difference.
Yeah.
Truly. That's a great point, Jamie. That's a terrifying, terrifying 3-man line.
you would think. But I watched years of McKinnon, Rantanen, and Makar be fucking terrible at 3-on-3. Like,
Yeah, but I think that's a big dynamic shift between Raymond and Natchez
you're
as
not
far as
wrong,
maneuverability.
but I don't know, man. I just. It's one of those things where it's like, I get the theory, but the actual 3-on-3 is just an enigma.
I see what you mean. It would take a pretty radical and confident shift to say we're going to lean on the speed and skill of these 3 guys rather than we're going to play this boring ass possession play hockey.
Well,
That really doesn't suit those 3 guys. I mean, Makar more than the other 2.
For sure.
Still.
It's exactly that, right? Like, okay, Nathan McKinnon and Martin Natchez are 2 of the best zone entry guys in the league. Guess what? At 3-on-3s, the zone entry is fucking free.
Anyone just walks
Like,
in. It's cool. There's no one holding them up at the blue line. Neutral zone is a joke. That's a great point.
Ooh. I can control it.
Ops for the attempt to keep. Yeah, we can do that.
You got
Keep. Get past the Bennington.
I know everyone's like,
What's happening? Too many men? What's going on?
It did felt like it was crashing into that guy getting off the ice there, but
Nobody hopped on, so
2 minutes left in the tie game. These refs, they're blind. Sweden is in get to overtime mode right now.
I guess with that in mind of the 3v3 kind of meta at this point, does Nate just is he even the third guy you ice with McKinnon and McCarr?
Probably the way the Avs have done it this year is you put a adult with them.
That's a great way to put it. It's so funny.
So you've gotten a lot of like McKinnon and Lehkonen together.
Right. Oh.
I don't know. It's the overtime vibe, which I'm all for.
Yeah.
3-on-3 with best on bests. It's pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie.
It has been since the 3-on-3 shift in overtime in the league. It does seem like there's a lot more hesitation in the later period of a tied game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there already was. Nobody wants to be the guy that gives up the late goal that ends up losing your team the game. Plus, depending on your team, you might be really relying on getting at least a point out of the matchup.
Yep.
But it seems like they're already, like both teams in this case are either planning on getting a ridiculous break or playing 3-on-3 hockey.
Yep.
And they're fine taking that whatever point difference there is. But with the point structure, there's a good amount of reason to want to score here in the next minute.
It's a valid extra point in this tournament.
Yeah.
Which, like, if you're Sweden, I totally get, like, let's get a point out of this.
Yeah.
Canada,
definitely.
I feel like, should be playing for the win.
Car ops for the dump. It's hard on. I mean, it's getting a little more physical here in the third.
It's crunch time.
Ooh. Ooh.
Everyone realizes, hey, we could actually win this game.
Yeah. And Canada's like, oh shit, we can actually. win
Yeah,
this
fair
game.
enough, fair enough. McKinnon?
Skates. Oh.
Yeah, I've seen that play before.
Yeah. And that's the thing where it's just like, yeah, McKinnon is a good passer. He's not when you compare it to the top percent. Like, that's the right time to pass it, but he's just hitting the A button, you know? He's not looking up and hitting the tape.
And the difference is, I mean, it didn't work out because did you call a penalty? Oh,
No,
yeah,
I don't
okay, good.
Man, they really crammed those letters into that score button. Huh?
There's a lot of words at end of regulation right there. Like that's you couldn't have stacked
REG,
them.
bud. Like, there's options.
All right, I think it's only a 1 minute break to OT, so I'm gonna use my bathroom break here, and we'll keep rolling.
Keep it rolling, too.
We gotta put the Super Bowl egg with
I fell asleep 5 minutes ago.
the Super Bowl egg with the like an angel soft Super Bowl egg. I was like, this is a bathroom break. Go to the
Oh,
bathroom.
right. You only have a minute. Go pee right
And
now.
everyone was like, actually, you can't do that. Our water systems cannot handle that kind of load. Everyone going to the bathroom at the
Just
same time.
alarms going
That's bad.
off at water treatment facilities, sewer guys, just like holding on to
We,
the edge of their seat.
we have that problem with watering because of watering restrictions in Colorado. Everyone waters on Monday morning at 5 a.m.
Interesting.
And the water people have been like, can we maybe like not? Like maybe water Tuesday.
Oh, she has toy hairs.
Got it. Yeah.
They do that.
She doesn't actually eat that.
That's good. That's good.
She can't figure out how to.
Well, why
It
would you
just
ever?
falls out of her mouth.
What kind of horrible animal would be chewing on that and think, I want this in my stomach? It doesn't taste good. It doesn't taste like anything.
I think we told you that Sylvie's just like Red. She can seemingly eat anything.
That's great. That's a great
It's
superpower to have.
amazing. I love it. I never want a dog that can't do that.
Sylvie's, Rex was, like, Sylvie's really good. Like, she could she shouldn't she'll be right back.
Yeah, Rex just metabolism there.
Rex is the iron stomach, absolutely.
So it's got to be Sidney Crosby for the face-off, McKinnon and McCarr, right?
I mean, I think you could make an argument for McDavid. But I'm bringing the shirt out. Going all hail.
No, I mean, Makar is out there.
Yeah, he's
Crosby's
your
out
number one D.
McKinnon, McDavid, pretty interchangeable, but why mess with? I mean,
Crosby and McKinnon have a chemistry for sure.
Crosby, McKinnon, Makar, McKinnon.
Looks like it's McDavid and Marner.
So they're starting the second line. Is Taves out there? No, and Makar.
So you'll get, if it lasts that long, you'll get probably Taves, Crosby, McKinnon as your second set.
Probably.
All right, buckle up.
A lot of ice out there for these guys. It's
It's
insane.
like, I'm not a big face-off guy, but when the talent out there is this good, kind of a big face-off. Like,
See, that's why it's crazy that you don't take Crosby right there. You could have ended up with 10 straight minutes of possession if you win that faceoff.
I'd have to actually, I don't know who the best face-off guy in Canada is. I'd have to look it up.
I guess in my mind, I cemented Crosby as the best faceoff.
He is very
player
good.
of all time.
He's very good in the face-off circle, but I just don't know. Like, is Sorelli real? I would have to look. I don't know. And they have like 10 fucking centers.
Like, I'm surprised you don't put Crosby out there just for the faceoff, even if
No,
this is the line
totally.
you want.
Plenty of teams run their 3-on-3 that way, where it's like win the face-off and skate off the ice.
Yeah, that's your whole job. Win or lose, you do that and you leave. It's a 5-second shift.
It looks like they got McDavid off for McKinnon. Yeah, but Marner is still out there. No, Crosby did get out there.
Okay, so it
So
was.
Makar's stuck, but yeah.
So if they lost that face, that's so interesting. Because that's got to be the line they want for a set play if they win the face-off. But because they lost it, they went, okay, never mind.
Yeah. Play it. Yeah. Get Makar off, and what do you got? Just do it yourself, Mac. Let me make a video about it.
Crosby's going off too.
Oh, get a face off. Thankfully, they have other people than Nathan McKinnon to take the face off.
Indeed.
What other options they got? I'm curious what the third set is. Stone and Point, it looks like. I can't tell who the D is.
Swedes win the face-off with possession up in the air. Okay, they do corral it.
Yeah. I mean, Swedes had possession at the start. They did nothing with it.
Right.
So they've got some
Which,
advantage.
if you still can't take the blue line and 3-on-3, I don't know what to tell you, but
You're in trouble.
this is not the tournament for
So
you.
it's Zibanejad and Raquel. Whoa!
That was a great chance out of nowhere.
He puts it top corner. It's a goal, but Bennington got across on the low side.
I mean, was that a save or was it just a miss?
I mean, both.
Just a
He
terrible
flubbed
shot.
it pretty
Terrible
bad.
shot.
He flubbed it pretty bad. Zibanejad season in a nutshell right there, to be honest.
No kidding.
They go back to McKinnon with Makar and McDavid. Interesting. Swapping it up. Also, why is McDavid not taking space up? Not that McDavid's great, but come on.
He's got to be a step up from McKinnon's weakest point.
Okay, they made it work.
It's the only face-off they won. McKinnon's the best face-off man.
Kale, ignore these dorks.
McDavid.
Yeah, curl up and give it to Kale. Or McKinnon. Not confident.
Nobody's sure. The D-man curls up to make sure it's not squeaking through his 5. That's a good sign.
Like, genuinely, is that threesome the 3 best players on planet Earth? Like, it might be.
I think so. As far as just raw skill at the height of their careers, yeah. Like, I could imagine the 2-on-1 where it's McDavid and McKinnon coming in 2-on-1 just become a 2-on-L.
they stuck with McDavid and Kale. Is that McKinnon? I can't tell. It is, okay. Against Forsberg, Nylander, and Hedman. McKinnon's like, I don't drop past the puck. All right, Max sneaks off here.
Did they just give it
Give
away?
it to Kale. Give it. Come on, Kale. Fuck these guys. You're better.
You're just better, bud. Yep.
Kale
Possession
gets
play,
off
houses
like a
down,
smart boy. All right.
regroup. Yeah, McDavid's going next. Look like Taves.
Yeah, it was Taves. I mean, this is Sweden's hanging on for dear life right
by the
now.
thread. They need a lucky rush or something. 2-0.
Not a great pass from Taves to Cirelli there. Reset. Okay.
This is the longest 10 minutes of
Yeah,
the Swedish
it's been-
roster's life.
It's been 3 minutes. And they're like, oh, God. Marner. Still Marner. You have help, buddy. Ooh, it was there
He
for
just-
a second.
he
He
just
double
Gave
clutched
him
it.
so much
Yeah.
room.
That was goalie interference, anyways.
I wouldn't have stood.
See, this is fun. This is
This is good. This
There's
is
a
good.
lot of boringness in this game. This is sick.
Every second of this is like,
Yeah.
we have to reanalyze. Someone else stepped on the ice. How insane is it now?
Yeah, right. What stupid bullshit.
Doesn't get a clean off. Good save, though. All the same.
Back to McDavid and McKinnon. So they have not played Crosby much this
They really
whole
haven't.
time.
What a luxury.
Right. He's our extra guy.
Didn't like it. Didn't like what he saw.
That's fine. Modern 3-on-3, that's what you do.
He's looking for a little bit of glory here.
Yeah,
He looks the Russian and taking
the
a
hero
shot.
puck. Oh,
Oh,
bad
oh.
lead from McDavid. Oh my! Scoring yourselves
Okay,
3-on-1
boys.
with the 3 best players on planet Earth. And McKinnon shoots it, and nothing happens. Tell you what, McKinnon's padding the shot totals.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
You should be okay here. Yeah. Tired legs on McDavid a little bit, but.
Ooh,
Boy, oh boy. Oh, he fanned on it.
He's on it bad.
Stick blew up on dude. Sweden cursed right now.
That's Canada's stick.
Oh, okay, good. Maybe not cursed. Maybe cursed. McCarr's like, I hate my life right now. Hagel offside on himself there. It was close.
That was weird. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's what he's thinking. He's like, I was offside. I'm taking it out of
So I'm
zone.
not gonna. Surely it's Sidney Crosby to be the hero for Team Canada, right? That's just the script.
That's how it's written.
Yeah. Oh, or the goat.
It's game
game
1.
Oh, you just
Couldn't handle
lost
it.
it,
Couldn't
Bucko.
handle it.
And now Crosby's going to casually skate it in, do whatever he wants. Okay, that was a choice. Get on side.
Oh! Mitch Marner.
Kale McCarr gets his plus back.
There you go. There you
It is
go.
what it is. Team Canada
Crosby gets the assist with that
With-
absurd dish
with full neutral zone drop pass.
with a 2-line
Yeah,
backhand
yeah.
pass. Ridiculous. All right. So that's 2 for Canada, 1 for Sweden, eh?
That is 2 for 1. Sweden got 1 point. Honestly, not that bad.
Yeah, could have done a lot worse. Good on him for taking a point off Canada, too.
U.S. versus Finland tomorrow. Sweden's going to be wanting that to go to overtime.
What?
That was sick. I'm glad it made it to the team. That was
Perfect shot.
really fun.
Perfect shot. Yeah, that was by far the funnest part of the game. It was sick. Whew. All right, Chad, that was fun. We don't have a post game to do for once. So we appreciate all y'all hanging out. We'll probably do it again tomorrow. Yeah. Come find us. We'll see you then. It was fun. Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.